Once upon a time, on a bright and sunny day, there was a very angry little tiger. The reason for his rage was due to a kit he had gotten in the mail. Recently, he became very interested in miniatures, specifically figurines and buildings, to use as playable pieces for tabletop games. The small furniture, the tiny beams, and the customizable characters that he could use with his friends made him so excited. So when he saw an advertisement in the mail for a miniature castle set, he sent in the order right away. In his mind, he had already planned out what colors he wanted, what fake moss he could use, and where he could put the finished castle. But when it arrived, he noticed that the instructions were written in a language he couldn't understand. And more importantly, it seemed like there were a couple of missing pieces. It was already not looking too good, but still, he wanted to make it work. At first, he was calm and focused, but after a few roadblocks, he grew more and more frustrated. It started with an irritated leg tap, then some tense shoulders which turned into a furrowed brows, and finally, he let out a shout. Imagine patience like a cup of water, and every time something becomes frustrating, a spoonful of water is taken out. For this little tiger, too many spoons were taken out, and he had no more water left. Pushing the entire kit to the side, he left his room with a frown on his face. When he left the house, he didn't even put on his shoes. He was too angry to care, and the moss underneath his feet felt nice. Going out was the right choice, he thought. As the smell of the wet soil reached his nose, he looked out onto the yard. His eyes were drawn to the purple delphiniums swaying gently in the breeze, and something orange was peeking out from in between the flowers. How weird. Still angry, he stomped his feet closer and noticed that it was actually his aunt's ears, just barely visible from among the blooms. A pair of shears and a basket were placed in front of her. She was weeding and cutting the flowers for a bouquet. Humming softly as she worked, she wasn't paying any attention at all. Getting closer, he stomped his feet again to try to get her attention. Her ears twitched and she slowly looked up. Squinting her eyes against the sun, she raised her arm above her forehead. She smiled when she recognized him. "Oh, it's you. What's up? Are you hungry?" she said, briefly looking back at the bunch of weeds in her other hand. The little tiger huffed and stomped his feet on the ground again. Noticing his anger, she put the weeds down to see what was the matter. "Whoa, feeling a lot of things, huh?" He frowned. "Yes, I hate the kit." "Oh?" she replied, wanting to hear more. "Yeah, I'm so mad I could bite my fur off." His fists were clenched and a stray flower petal landed on his forehead. It was as though the cool breeze was trying to calm him down. "All right, little one, let's hear it. What happened?" She then stood up, wiped her hands on her skirt, and handed him a basket full of purple delphiniums. A wrapped bouquet was propped up against her arms. As they walked towards the house, he grumbled, "I don't want to do figurines anymore. I just want to throw the kit away. I'm not good at it." "How come?" She knew how much he loved miniatures, so she was a little confused. "It's a dumb kit. I can't even read the instructions, and some of the pieces are missing. Ugh." Back in the house, they sat at the kitchen table. There he continued describing all the things that were wrong and how frustrated it made him. She listened to it all with calm eyes as she put together a sweet snack for the both of them. From the kitchen window, she could see that the sun was starting to set. All that time, he had been getting his frustrations out. Expressing his anger and talking it out helped calm him down. No longer angry, he felt exhausted, and she set the parfait in front of him. "Feeling better?" she said, as she scooped a spoonful of yogurt onto her spoon. He nodded, and she brought out a notebook and pen. "What do you want to do now?" she asked, and together they made a list of things he wanted to do after looking at the kid in the morning. Sometimes, a calm heart and a fresh pair of eyes will do the trick. And a special thanks to Anna Gaylord, Arage, Derek Moore, Egg Lay, Jessica, Julia, Laura Moon, Lynn, Megan Stinson, Paige Sullivan, and S. Marie Carlson.